Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Zen, and we are back at it again, man. And yes, with title update 2 came the delicious charms, bro. And so today I'm going to go over a little bit of some meta builds, or should I say some high damaging builds, man, for you guys. For longsword, just to kind of see and get your feet wet, to give you kind of concept of what you should be looking for. Also, what you can do to get some high damaging builds. Now, TLDR, I'm not a math guy, okay? So this is all my research and my version of what I came up with. You know what I'm saying? So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, this build 100% factually hits hard. So hopefully you guys like this content. If you do like this content, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to your boy. I also stream on Twitch, so subscribe to me there as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay zen. Hey, what's good, guys? All right, man, let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm too excited, man. So first, TLDR before we get started, man. All right, I say this for every build video I do. I am not a math guy. I'm not Monster Hunter mathematician, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this is a speedrunner that loves longsword, that did his own research in the most simplest way possible. Boom, this is my build. So, you know, no misinformation, no nothing. This is just what I did. You choose what you want to do, and I'll show you my research and what I've done. Cool? Copacetic. All right, bet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this build. All right, guys, with the new charm system kind of like already set, we're able to bring our sets slightly above what we normally do. Not like heavily, but we can get some juicy numbers, man. So with this first build that I do, I'm going to start from my least damaging builds to my highest damaging build. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the regular set that you're going to do. Don't mind the dual blades. You don't have to have it. I just love dual blades. I'm going through it. I'm going through my phase, so don't judge me. All right, so it'll be obviously the artesian longsword, the normal like we've been doing. What's it called? All attack. You know what I'm saying? One sharpness, everything else is attack, and then whatever element it is. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what it is. We've been doing this for a while. If you guys don't know that, here's the stats. There it is. So going to the helmet or to the actual build itself, it'll be Legiacris helm, Ray chest and arms, Legiacris skirt, and then Uvduna legs. Okay, so cookie cutter build. Every last one of these builds I'm doing, this is what you need to have. If you're running longsword, this is what you want. Reason being is that when you have 3 pieces of arch tempered, which is Uvduna and Ray, you're gonna get what's called the Lord Soul or the Guts Tenacity skill. That gives you 5% attack. Like, and I'm saying this because I did not realize this for the longest time. So I'm one of those dudes that was like, oh, you know, well, let me kind of min-max and like max out my witness exploit, max out my agitator, max out everything. You can have everything maxed out, but this is giving you 5+ attack, 5% percentage. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of realize that and know that like not many things is really beating out that. This right here is basically a attack boost 5, basically. And that's what this build gives you, is attack boost 5 when you have 3 pieces of arch tempered. So just kind of like conceptualize that in your head. It makes it a little bit easier to understand. Also with the Legiacris set with 2 pieces of laggy, it gives you the Leviathan's Fury. So Leviathan's Fury, like off grip, gives you the Azura's Bolt 1, which that gives you basically 15% affinity for 20 seconds. And then deals 30 damage to 70 thunder damage upon buildup. So it gives you that little extra damage there, and then on top of that, it gives you 15% affinity for 20 seconds. So that's amazing. That's big damage. That's big affinity. That's the reason why we have like Legiacris on here. If we didn't, we would probably be trying to slide in something a little bit different. But more affinity, more damage over time, higher big numbers. You know what I'm saying? So. Well, we want that. We want that 100%. So without further ado, the reason why we have that, there's that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build a little more intimately. Here we have attack boost 4, crit boost 4, master's touch, airborne, agitator 5, latent power, counter strike, max might, divine blessing 3, recovery 3, quick sheath 3, evade extender 2, Weakness exploit 1 and burst 1. We talking something juicy right here, boys.
Oh my God!
Juicy. This one I'd be like my main chill build, bro. Like you can speed run with this. You can be in the lobby with multiplayers with this. You can kind of min-max it a little bit more if you want to. But super simple build, bro. Super simple, okay? So the attack boost 4, we're gonna talk a little about this, about the charm. It comes from my charm. So my charm right here is attack boost 3, agitator 1, okay? With a 1 attack slot and a 1, what you wanna call it? Armor slot, okay? Now, ideally, you could probably get a 3rd slot here, which will make this even better, but, you know, RNG, I ain't got it yet, but we grinded for it, you know what I'm saying? Took me forever to get this one, but I'm in the game, you know what I'm saying? So, a little TLDR, when I'm explaining this about charms, if you know, trying to find what god charm I'll be looking for longsword, what, you know, oh my god charm I need to be, you know, like on the lookout for, okay? So, the best ones that I found, all right, off the grip, is attack boost charms and attack boost 3 and attack boost 2 charms, okay, and crit eye 3 and crit eye 2 charms, all right, with an agitator or latent power or burst. Those are like your god tier charms. They're going to come in basically either all 3 up top with the agitator or burst or latent power, or it'll end up being 2 with some random slottage, which there's a chart that I'll have linked in my bio, so you guys can in the description of the video, so you guys can take a look at it. It'll be some random skill that you can have in there, maybe like a fire attack or something like that, and then it'll be agitator, burst, or latent power, okay? Those are your god charms. That's what I discovered. That's what I looked at. I mean, I have a lot of god charms that are dope, but they just didn't hit crit element 3. You know, all 3 elements maxed out, you know what I'm saying, with agitator, you know what I'm saying, punish and draw, crit draw, all those great jazz, they're good. Okay, now honorable mentions: Master's Craft, Master's Touch, excuse me, crit draw, airborne. Yeah, and Mind's Eye and what's it called, razor blade or razor, I forgot what it's called, but the razor one. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't at me. All right, so yeah, so with that being said, those are some honorable mentions, but the ones you're looking for is attack boost, crit eye with agitator, latent power, or burst. That's what you want heavily. That's what I found that hits the hardest. Now, so we go to the build. That being said, with my agitator, we were able to get attack boost 3, all right, as well as in the attack slottage, we'll put a critical boost. And basically, anytime you get a rarity 8, bro, you want to just add that 1 level of boost. The reason of critical boost, reason being, critical boost is going to give you the most amount of damage. Why? It's going to make your critical hits bump up from level 34 to level 37. That's about a what? 3% increase, but 3% is 3%, not, you know, 300, 200, whatever. So it's gonna be the most return, most bang for your buck, for your critting. You know what I mean? So definitely do your crit boost. Like no other slottage is gonna like beat out damage wise a crit boost. We just know that. Okay. So with that being said, you're hitting about 37%, right? So now you're hitting 37% with your crit boost, as well as attack 4. Now the attack 4 is unique because if you just attack 3, you just get a +7, which isn't bad. It's cool, it's whatever. But the attack 4 gives you 2% on top of 8. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at that, that's juicy numbers right there. Big boy numbers. Big boy numbers. That's what we want. So if you go to level 5, it'll be about 5%, 4% +9. So super easy, super simple, bro. Like this is what you're looking for. And because longsword scales well with raw damage, that's why this is so important. And why it works so well for longsword in particular. Your helm splitter doesn't lean more to element. We did get an elemental buff, which is dope, which means that if we add element to our weapon, it'll be even stronger, but always raw with longsword first, then everything else. Okay, so just kind of know that, hit in your mind, kind of have them in your, noggin as you're rolling around. For those average Joes that don't like to do numbers, just want to know concepts, which is me. So, anyway, so we got that being done. With that being said, we have the crit boost 4, which is spicy. You got the attack boost 4, crit boost 4, spicy. We have Master's Touch, and the reason why I went with Master's Touch is because every time you crit, it doesn't take away any sharpness. And because with everything active, we're gonna have 95% affinity. Okay, that's with everything active on this build, 95% affinity is what you're gonna be sitting at. Now, with that being said, if you tack on the mantle or the gore mantle, the corruption mantle, you'll be at 100%. You good, you Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So now you critting real nice. So just something to kind of keep in your mind, kind of roll around in your thought process. But because of that, because we're gonna be critting so much, especially with everything active, Master's Touch I find is always better. My rule of thumb is if it's above 90%, if you're at 90% or above, Master's Touch. If not, Razor Sharp. You know what I'm saying? And that way, because Razor Sharp does just based on percentage, it just doesn't let you lose sharpness based off a set percentage, rather than if you crit, you don't lose anything at all. So if I'm doing more critting, then that's what I'm sitting with, Master's Touch. Okay. Now the next big key point here, shout out to Peppa for finding this. Airborne. Airborne is absolutely fire for longsword. It gives you 10% damage increase on your helm splitter. So when you go up in the air and you come back down, that gets a 10% increase. That's amazing because you do a lot of helm splitters. If you like me and do the helm splitters play style, this is so golden for you. This is so golden for you. You know what I mean? So just I'm gonna kind of keep rolling around in the back of your head as well. So as you're making your builds, if you don't have everything, know why airborne is important for longsword. Now, little TLDR, is only for the jump move that you do for longsword. So when you go up and come back down, boom, that gets a 10% increase. Now the spirit release afterwards does not. So just know that it does not. Just when it goes up and comes back down. So absolutely fire. Then obviously we have our agitator, which is gonna give us that juicy 20 plus attack, plus 50% affinity. We have latent power as well. That's gonna give us, we're up to 3, so it's gonna give us 30% affinity with 50% stamina depletion, which is dope. Love that. We love to see it. Which that 50% stamina depletion is also great because now because we have max might, which gives us 30%, helps us keep that active as well. Latent power is so strong on here. I love it. If you're doing any kind of build, bro, you need to be rocking the Arch Temper sets. It's just really meta. It's just no reason why to be rocking anything else outside, unless for special reasons for longsword. You know what I mean? Next one, we get our counter strike, which give us plus 25. You know what I'm saying? Attack every time you get hit, which is juicy. I slotted in for my 1 slots Divine Blessing 3. Now you're gonna look at me and be like, bro, you're a speedrunner, why are we doing this? Yada yada yada, whatever. Okay, we take a lot of tip damage here, obviously. On top of that, I have counter strike. I want to get hit. Why? So I can get that juicy 25 plus damage. Okay, that happening, and we doing these long hunts. The less damage I take doing whatever I'm doing, the less time I gotta take to pop a mic seat real quick to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're tracking me? There we go. So you can do this at your own leisure. Now, another thought process that you can do is you can take away my Divine Blessing and my recovery speed, which recovery speed on this game is amazing, bro. It recovers just the red part of your damage. So if you get hit, it's like a little red part that's there. It'll literally go like this. And the speed that I'm going is literally the speed that it goes. Like, just like that. And so it's amazing. I love it. But, okay, if you like, that seems too easy, then I don't want to do it. I'm the GOAT. All right, be the GOAT. All right, and if you're going to be the GOAT, or if you're speed running, I would suggest putting on Constitution 3, which you can slot that in just as easily. Or if you really want to be a hard sweat, Constitution 5. Reason being, it helps you keep your max might up so much more, which means more affinity, which means consistent damage, which translates to faster times. Okay, so just kind of TLDR, that's why I love this build. You can kind of min-max the way you want to, but that is the case of what you can do. So with that also being said, we have chain lastly as well. And chain, for those that don't know, I always like to start out these stats because it makes it so great. For longsword, it gives you 8+ attack and then plus 40 element. You know what I'm saying? So real juicy, real nice. And then as well with that, we have our weakness exploit, which will give us a solid 5%, 8% if you're hitting wounds on affinity as well. So when you're hitting weak points with everything active, you're technically hitting about 103% affinity. Okay, so remember these stats that I'm going through now. I know this is kind of long, but a lot of my builds are going to be very similar to this, so that way I don't have to continue to keep explaining this over and over again. So anyway, so we got that, and then also we have, like I said earlier, the Raydal's voltage, which extends our latent power by 30 seconds, which comes from Ray, and then Leviathan's Fury, which gives us that plus 15% affinity, plus 20 seconds, and then the 30+ damage and 70+ damage for the thunder attack. And then also lastly, that Lord Soul that we love so much, that gives us guts / tenacity, which lowers our defense by 5%, but gives us that 5% attack. So another side note too, if you guys want to, you can also put in, instead of doing divine, what's it called, protection or whatever, you guys can do full defense 7, which is something you could do as well. And if you end up getting the attack, 3 attack agitator, jewel, you know what I'm saying, but you get 3 slots up here instead of 2, you can make your build even better. You know what I mean? So, and just slide in any other armor skill you want. So you're gonna get real nasty out here in these streets, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep grinding for the charms. There's god charms out there. These weren't too hard to get. For me getting this one, I grinded like, what, maybe 40, 50 ranks. You know what I'm saying? Although I was speed running, so, you know, whatever. I'm already at almost 150 plus rank now since the charms came out, because I've been grinding. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, learn to speed run, get better charms. You know what I'm saying? What I gotta say. But anyway, yeah, so that's the first build. Let's go ahead and look at how we're hitting. And then from there, we'll move on to the next build. All right, guys, so I went ahead and turned on everything, latent power, agitator, and I'm finna get hit by this to start my counter strike. So we got all that going. I got hit earlier, so let's go ahead and do this here. Let's get up to red gauge. I love this. You can take a look at how we're almost every single hit I'm creating, bro. Every single hit. So now that we look at this, we hit 163, 167s for the helm splitter, 121s, 131s, you know what I'm saying? Super disgusting build. All right, let me go back. I actually didn't mean to do the helm splitter, but here we go. So 167, 163, 167, 163. All right, my rock steady just went out. Let's go back again. All right, everything's back procced again. Burst 167, 163, 167, 163, 84. High numbers, bro. Now let's go for this helm splitter. Everything activated. 121s, 131s, and then high 165s on your spirit release. Disgusting. 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 All right, so moving on to the next build. So for this one, I decided to go crit heavy. All right, so crit heavy meaning that, like, when you're fighting with longsword, all right, obviously crit is what we're really fighting for a lot. A lot of our build is dedicated to try to get our critical chance high, because critical chance high really, like, affects your times, affects how hard you hit, all those good jazz, and how consistent you are over time with that in Monster Hunter. So because of that, for those that kind of want a little bit more on the affinity side of things, because you got to remember, you got to build up latent power. You got to get like at least like 1/3 of your health hit or something along those lines. You still got to get hit in order to activate all these things. And there's some downtime, like it's only for a certain amount of time that latent power is active. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this gives you uptime on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So these are like my two concepts, high attack or high affinity. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier. So with this build in particular, this one gives me high attack, high affinity. So which means that even if my stuff is down, I still got a high chance to crit. So even if latent power isn't there, I still got a high chance to crit. And I love that. So it gives you another option with longsword. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go into it. Same build all the way down, artesian all the way down. So when you look at the artesian, it'll be the exact same thing, but instead of flight attack like it was on the old one, it'll be flight expert. Okay. Now, with that being said, the charm we're all looking for is the same thing, except you guessed it, crit I3. So crit I3 agitator. Remember I said crit I3 agitator or crit I3 latent power or crit I or attack 3 burst. Burst, agitator, or latent power. You want that last one to be one of these, you know what I'm saying? And then you can make this build. Too easy. We have the 1-2 slot, crit boost in one, and then protection in the other. Same exact thing, but everything is just replaced with crit, okay? This just keeps you there. Now, with this build, without the corruption mantle, you're hitting 100% affinity when everything's active, no questions asked. And honestly, it's a little bit higher than that. It's 108% because you have the Wex. So we're a little bit over, but you know, this is again another option. This is more so for when latent power isn't active. So you want to keep that going. You know what I mean? So when latent power isn't active, let's see what that looks like. All right, let's dive into it. Okay, with latent power not active, we have about 51%. All right, somewhere around that range. Now, remember we have weakness exploit as well. So when we hitting weak spots, we're hitting 5% plus. So that's 56 plus an extra 3 if it's a wound. You know what I'm saying? So this is an amazing build. I love it. It's dope. But with everything active, let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right. We got our counter strike activated. So let's go ahead and look at it. Azure Bolt. All right, we hit 160s, 157, 160, 157. Look how consistent that is, man. 160s, 157, 160s, 157. You get the concept, right? So we're going up. Let's see what we're looking like on a helm splitter. 116 rather than the 121 that what it was, and then high 159. But all consistent critting. And remember, this is consistently critting. So over time, this is where this build will really shine. Not so much like initially off the grip like you would in the attack builds. So with that being said, that's where we're sitting at, man. Hopefully this helps. And so you guys stick around. I'll be sure to make sure that I'll go over some builds if you don't have like godlike charms, and what you can kind of do with this build. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get there. 1 second. All right, guys. So on to the next one. For the next build here, this is what we got. This is the same type of thought process, but on this build, I dropped off airborne, and I maxed out my crit. So with that being said, that maxes out my crit even further than what it was. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at it. It's crit I5, crit boost 4. My charm here, if I want to reach 5, all the way 5%, level 5 crit I, which would give me an extra 20% affinity. If I max that all the way out, I would need this charm here. Crit I2 and agitator. It doesn't matter what's in the middle. I just happen to get crit draw. But crit I2, agitator is basically, for me, in my opinion, is even better than crit I3. It's even better. Now hear me out. Why? Because with that, you can max out your crit all the way. Okay? And if you're not playing, it's only meta if you're not playing the helm splitter like gameplay. If you're playing the helm splitter gameplay, I would go with the other build. For this one, if you're just doing crimson slashes, this is way better for you. 100% way better for you. And dare I say, you know what I'm saying, kind of better than the attack too as well. So like it kind of go hands in hand. It depends on your play style and how consistent you are, but whatever works for you, one of these two is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing helm splitters, you need to do the other two. If you're doing just Crimson 1, Crimson 2 slashes, I would lean more into this build here. Okay, especially if, let's say, you didn't get a crit, because that jewel that I got was pretty rare. But especially if you're not using that, just use crit I2. Just use crit I2. You know what I'm saying? If you get anything with crit I2, and an agitator or latent power or burst, you're golden. Even if you got something with crit I1, you'll end up basically with a similar build that I had. You just won't have airborne, really, to be honest with you. You just have to kind of move around your jewels a bit. But yeah, so yeah, because if you got crit I1 instead of I guess when I have flight there, you could just use expert 3. You know what I'm saying? So if you have expert 1 jewel with a agitator or whatever with some random slot in it, do the exact same thing, keep the expert jewel 3, and then you're good. You know what I'm saying? It's the same alternative with the attack. It's the same kind of way. And I'll do an example of that at the end, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what you can and can't do. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it a little bit more. This gives me extra 20% affinity. So remember, this is about what it looks like over time. So let's go ahead and dive into it and see what it looks like without anything active, and then we'll look what it looks like with everything active. All right, guys, everything's off. So with everything off, we're sitting at, instead of 51% like we were doing earlier, we're at 55%. We're kind of splitting hairs here, but like, hey, look, all percentage counts, bro, when it comes to affinity. All of it counts. So we do that plus the extra 15 if Azra's up. So what's that? 70. And then plus 5% plus weakness exploit, which is 75. We still hitting high percentage, high there, you know what I'm saying? So you guys can still operate and move. On top of that, what makes this build so unique and different also is because I have crit draw, all right? Now, I know this is an RNG gamble, but this is why I say crit draw is an honorable mention, okay? All right, so as we look at this, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my Rocksteady. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on my Rocksteady. All right, so as I hit my Rocksteady and I go into my hits, see if we can counter it. All right, I'm paying attention to you, hold on. So with this being said, if I do a draw attack or a draw move, take a look at the top right corner, okay? With the top right corner, if you see that the attack numbers doing for 3 seconds, for 3 seconds I have the extra 30% affinity from my crit eye. Not crit eye, from my crit draw. All right, so let's look at that real quick. Extra 50% affinity. All right, with the extra 50% affinity for 3 seconds, if I'm doing the Crimson 1, Crimson 2 playstyle, dude, guess what that means? Those Crimson 1, Crimson 2 slashes are all getting what? Crit. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm sitting here, oh my God, lost my red gauge. Okay. So if I'm doing this, all of the Crimson 1, Crimson 2 slashes, boom, for 3 seconds, look at that, are all getting crit. So that extra crit affinity up is amazing. It's amazing. And all that gives me a little extra boost. Oh my gosh, if this thing quit hitting me. So it just gives me that little extra boost as well. So if you get anything with crit draw in it, especially, you know, the attack 2 or attack 1, bro, you're golden. It's such a good thing. Such a good thing, because especially if you're fighting a monster that causes you to EI slash a lot, bro, you're gonna go in, you're gonna do whatever little EI slash move you do or whatever, or you do the Y move right here, right? Going straight into it, boom, bro, all that's getting crit. And that's gonna last about 2 Crimson 1 cycles, basically. About 2, maybe 1.5, 2 Crimson 1 cycles. So you get that extra 50% affinity. Always something to have. It's dope to have on your trigger. Also with the high affinity that we got going on, bro, like it's amazing. So also with that being said, let's go ahead and turn on everything so we can see what we're hitting like, and then from there we'll move forward. All right, everything's turned on. Let's go ahead and go start it. Let me put on my Rocksteady mantle. Guess she didn't want to give me my counter strike. Okay, counter strike's activated. Dope. All right. And with that being said, boom, look at 100% affinity, 323 attack, bro. We still hitting hard, boys. We still hitting hard. You know what I'm saying? We go up, we're hitting the 160s, 153s, 108s, critting. And if you look at the 108s, bro, everything is consistent, bro. It's so consistent. And that's what we want with your crit builds. All the consistency that you can get. So that way you're constantly hitting high numbers, constantly getting the same numbers. And that way it's just based on your gameplay rather than RNG blessing you. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, we have our crit draw too. So we go into it and then boom, bro, we just hitting good, juicy numbers. Look at that, 108s, look at that, so juicy. Critting my booty off, I love it, man. So anyway, all right, on to the next one. All right, guys. So this one's the piece de resistance. This is the one that like the highest damaging one that I got. You know what I'm saying? This one is like the biggest, big boy, big damage, big whatever. You know what I'm saying? This one, if you are speed running for longsword, I would encourage you to use this build and then kind of tweak it minorly depending on what you can do. Okay. You have your choice to either do, like I said earlier, recovery, or you can do all constitution. You know what I mean? If you're really going for like world record times, for those that are super sweat, all constitution, bro. Just do it. You shouldn't be getting hit anyway. And when you do get hit for Counter-Strike, you should be able to manage it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least constitution 4 and then 1 protection. You know what I'm saying? So just my thought process there. But here's the jewels is what we're looking at. And this is gonna give you a nice, fat, juicy attack boost 5. Attack boost 5. Crit boost 4. All right. Now, don't mind the fire attack. It came with my jewel, my charm. We'll look at that in a minute. Master's Touch. Now, this is if you're using the Crimson 1, Crimson 2 meta. You know what I'm saying? We know that's the highest hitting damage. So if you want to really maximize that and go all out, now you can get close, you know, times with the Helm Splitter playstyle. You can. I prefer the Helm Splitter playstyle. I usually play that. That's why I like the other one more. But this, again, this goes straight for Crimson 1, Crimson 2. That's the meta. We know that's what it is. If you're going to do that, this is the build I say go with. 100%. All right. So if we do that, bada boom, bada bam, knock it out. Too easy. Okay. Now, the charm for this is what we all looking for, right? The charm for this is attack boost 2. All right, attack boost 2. Fire attack is just what's slapped on there, whatever it gives you, whatever. And then burst. You know what I'm saying? So with this being said, all right, and me getting burst, you can do agitator too. I had burst is what I had. Remember, it's agitator burst or latent power. Either one to make a difference. But what I did is instead of having chain in here, I took out because it was chain originally, right? On the other ones, I just took out the chain and replaced it with a challenger. I always go challenger over latent power because we're already getting over 100% affinity, over 100% affinity with the weakness exploit, as well as when we have the mantle, it's a lot higher too as well. So I always lean more, instead of like maxing out your latent power, I always max out my my agitator. Plus, the agitator is a little more consistent to fight. But if your monster is not like agitatable, you know what I'm saying? It's like maybe Arkveld, you can kind of lean more into sliding in your latent power and just doing agitator 3. But you're losing attack and affinity. So I kind of stay away from that. But anyway, that's just what we got. This is why I say the god of all god talismans for the meta longsword is either attack boost 3 or attack boost 2, plus burst, latent power, or burst, latent power, or agitator. Okay, just my personal opinion. I don't got the math of math, but my number speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the damage we're talking about. Okay. All right, we got everything activated, put on the rock steady. Let's go ahead and get up to red gauge. Right. Back up, boom, boom. All right, we're sitting at 343 right now. Let's see if we can get in higher. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. 170, 166, 170, 166, 170. And we got the 343 with 95% affinity max. 343 is the damage that we're looking at, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Nice, bro. Now we're going up. For our hem splitter, just so y'all can see it, is 119. The other build I gave you gave us 121. Okay, this one gives you 119. You know what I'm saying? See, not even that big of a difference. The other one would just give you the airborne skill, you know what I'm saying, and makes your helm splitter a little bit more powerful. This one makes your crimson slash a little more powerful. Now, is it worth it to do the airborne over crimson slash? No, crimson slash is always going to win over helm splitter playstyle. It's just how it is. The math is mathing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do my crimson slash more often than I am going to do a hem splitter. So just so you know, so this is the meta of metas, in my opinion, of longsword right now. So we hitting that nice juicy numbers, 170, you know what I'm saying? Hits, let's do that again, one more time. We'll activate, there we go, activate counter strike. We got a 170, 166, 170, 166, 170, 166, bro. So beautiful, man. This build is ridiculous. I didn't think it could get this big, but it did. It's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Love it. Okay, so yeah, man, that's the builds that I got so far. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys and you guys liked it. Now what I'm gonna do is gonna go over for those that kind of got some okay charms and what you can do. Okay, it's gonna be really quick, really simple, not that hard. Okay, so for those that got like with okay charms, still go with the build. Like, you know what I'm saying? Still go with the build that I got here. Which, hold on, it's from the main one. Yeah, just go with the build I got here. Charms and everything, run it. You got it. Okay. If your charm is not like an agitator and attack boost 5, if you have anything that's an attack or crit eye, crit boost 1, or attack 2 or attack 1 with an attack slot on it, meaning a rarity 8 and an attack boost, whatever, then you're golden. You need something with agitator, some form of attack boost, and a weapon slot. If we're talking like high damaging numbers, okay? For whatever reason you don't have that, still run this with whatever charm you have, and it's still a good build. Like, it's still gonna work well. If you get like, you know, punish and draw, or, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, pervert element, you know, all that jazz, all that's good. Do whatever it is, because essentially all you're doing is basically getting an extra 3-slot jewel on your weapon. That's all you're getting, really. An extra 3-slot jewel, maybe a 3-slot and a 1 weapon slot. Like, that's just the maximum of what you're getting on your build. Okay. And with the attack boost 5 is basically just tacking on another Lord Soul. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing that, some things to kind of look out for that would help. Obviously, I said crit draw. Obviously, I said airborne. I would do any type of element, because Longsword got buffed with element. The Crimson 1, Crimson 2 slash scales very well with that. Anything with handicraft is good. Detective files is okay, you know, or critical status, you know what I'm saying, if you're doing any kind of status. You know what I'm saying? Crit element and crit status aren't that great, but if you got it, slide it. You know what I'm saying? Adrenaline rush is a good option, because you'll get that plus 10 attack that you can slide in. So that's something to do as well. Something to kind of keep a mind out and keep an eye out. This one has adrenaline rush, attack boost 1, you know what I'm saying? But any rarity ace that has an attack boost or a crit eye, bro, it don't matter what you do, you literally can just make it. So like, let's do this one, right? I got ice attack 2. Well, we need agitator at least. So hold on a sec, let me see. We need at least agitator or burst or whatever. Okay, cool. So let me go to my lower agitator one. So yeah, this gives me perfect. It gives me a crit eye 1, charge up, which we're never gonna use, an agitator, right? So I click on that, boom, 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 boom. This is what it's gonna give me. All right. So because of that, I'm gonna change this into flight expert. Okay. Where? Turn it into flight expert. Let's just give me, and turn this into crit boost. Yeah, any type of crit boost, which is perfect. All right, So it basically is the same build that I have. You'll just be down 2 slots of crit eye, or vice versa. If you did the attack, you just be down 2 slots of attack. You know what I'm saying? Now, for attack, you're losing out on a big grip of damage because we get up to that percentage of 4% or 5%. You know what I'm saying? But anything is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about min-maxing your builds. But if you do something like this, you'll just hit just as hard. You'll be down a few numbers. You're not even really doing that big a difference. So let's take a look. Because remember, we were hitting like what, 160s, right? 162s. The hem splitter for the crit eye wasn't all that great. You know what I'm saying? So for the crit section, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. Go up. Look at that, 116. The other one was 119. Remember, for a helm splitter, this is 116 with the airborne skill. And then let's look at our what's the name? Crimson 1, Crimson 2. Yeah, see, 160, 157, 157. I keep hitting the side of that metal. There you go, 160, 157, 160, 157, too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing that big a difference. Like we're talking like, you know what I'm saying, between 5 to 7 damage difference. The only difference that you see, really big differences between your Crimson Slash and your Helm Splitter is when you add on Airborne or you get Attack 5. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So that's the builds. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you join my Discord. Everything that I find out, like remember again, I'm not a math guy, but everything that I do find out that can help, I'll be posting as many. I spectate a crap ton of speed runs. So any good builds that I do see, obviously I'll credit the people who did it. But any good builds that I see or come across or I see in the pipeline that's happening, I post it in my Discord so you guys can have it. So if you're trying to look at the most recent Insect Glade one, we're doing our research. I'm posting it. Anything, you know, Gunlands, HBG, I'm posting them. You know what I'm saying? So just something to kind of keep in mind, kind of keep a rhythm in. So if you guys want to do that, please join the Discord. It'd be great. If you guys want to support me, the best way to do that is subscribe and follow. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do that as well. But hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if it is. If you guys got any questions, let me know. If you have something in particular that you want to see, especially for the casuals, man. Like I mean, I know I'm a speedrunner, but like I really want to cater to you guys as casuals as well. If you guys can let me know what you want in the comment section below, like what you would like to see in your builds. Maybe a lot more comfort, a lot more handicraft, a lot more whatever. And if I can find it, then I'll try to do like an overall casual video, you know what I'm saying, to kind of help you guys out. So hopefully it'll be helpful there, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, without further ado, man, hopefully this video was helpful. You guys make sure hit a like and a subscribe down below, man, if you guys like this video. Please let me know in the comment section below, man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay zen.